Relay. As within a review, this may contain spoilers. This is a suspense thriller that follows a whistleblower and a fixer. A fixer is not a lawyer and is contacted through unofficial channels and is someone a whistleblower goes to in order to broker a payoff between the whistleblower and a corporation in exchange for the information the whistleblower has not to be released to the media and the general public. In this movie, Sarah Grant, played by Lily James, is a scientist who initially meets with an attorney, explaining that she possesses documents revealing that the company she works for is covering up the side effects of their genetically modified weed. The company she worked for is on the verge of being bought out, and Sarah is being followed and harassed by a counterintelligence team led by Dawson, played by Sam Worthington, that the company hired. The intimidation tactics are too much for her, stressing her out, and all she wants is to return the documents and get her life back. The attorney recommends a fixer named Ash, played by Riz Ahmed. To maintain its anonymity, Ash and Sarah contact each other through the Tri-State Relay Service, which is a service designed to allow people with hearing or speech disabilities to communicate over the phone by connecting them to a trained worker from that service who facilitates the call. All communication is confidential and nothing is recorded.
Hello, this is the Tri-State Relay Service.
Yes, hello?
The person who's called you is likely to be deaf or hard of hearing. Caller will type their conversation and I'll read it to you. Say go ahead when you're ready for a response. No calls are recorded and everything you say is confidential.
Go ahead.
Please explain your situation.
I'm in possession of evidence of an unlawful cover-up.
Thank you for using the Tri-State Relay Service. Have a wonderful night.
There are two main ways this type of story could have gone. The first is a more serious tone that explains what a whistleblower is and goes deep into the process of meeting with a lawyer, how everything unfolds, and all the good and bad that comes with it. The second way is the route this film chose to take, which is a suspense thriller story that incorporates non-traditional methods that a whistleblower could seek. What really fascinated me about this story was the cleverness of using the fictional Tri-State Relay Service as the communication vehicle between Sarah and the fixer. While the service in the film was fictional, it was certainly based on the real-world telecommunication relay service, or TRS. I was blown away that someone, in this case the writer of the movie, would even think of using such a service in a unique way that provided a ton of intrigue and suspense. This is one of the reasons I love film so much. The way that someone could think of an idea and create a whole story around that idea and make it compelling blows my mind. The creativity it takes to make a complete story out of an idea is something I wish I possessed. While I enjoyed most of the movie, I had one major issue: the twist. The twist in a way cheapened the story for me. I felt the story was moving along at a good pace with good action and clever storytelling. When the twist happened, all the goodwill I had for the story washed away. The story went from a thriller about whether the counterintelligence team would uncover the fixer's identity to an action film in which the fixer fights for his life. As clever as the story was, when the twist happened, it overshot and outclevered itself in a sense. It's one of those instances where the story is doing too much for its own good. That's unfortunate because, as I mentioned, up until that point, I was enjoying the film. Something else I want to bring up. While not a major issue, I'm on the fence when it comes to the counterintelligence team. They seem too aggressive and violent. How likely is a public company to hire such a team that could potentially come back to bite them if the team goes too far? There's too much to lose for that company, but when money is a driving force, people have done worse for less. I enjoyed the cast. The main three were Riz Ahmed, who played Ash, the fixer, Lily James, who played Sarah Grant, the whistleblower, and Sam Worthington, who played Dawson, the team leader of the counterintelligence team. The story gave enough of a backstory to each character, but more so for Ash and Sarah. When it came to telling the story of Ash, I initially had an issue with his backstory. We come to learn that Ash is a recovering alcoholic who goes to AA meetings. What bothered me about this is that it felt to me that him being an alcoholic was simply a way to give the character a tragic flaw, if you will. As the audience, it places in your mind that he could potentially mess up the operation or make mistakes if he drinks again. The reason I said that his backstory initially bothered me is because later on in the story, we get the whole story of how he became an alcoholic and also a fixer. The explanation helped make the character more complete and helped ground him. Ash was shown as being very regimented in his process of helping Sarah. He was a bit of a robot and showed little emotion. That's not to say that Riz Ahmed's acting is robotic. It wasn't, and he was great in this part. He played the character with the correct tone and gave the character proper weight, which made him believable. One piece of information I discovered days after seeing the film was who the director is. The director is David Mackenzie. David Mackenzie directed one of my top 5 movies of all time, Hell or High Water. That was a pleasant surprise. Overall, I liked most of the movie until the twist, but it may be worth watching. So these were my thoughts. What did you think of the movie? Leave a comment down below, subscribe, give the video a like, and see you in the next review.